Hello Straters, welcome to Magic Gathering Strat. We're gonna do something a little bit different today, or not just today, over the course of several weeks, hopefully. So, first of all, I will be writing down the timestamps. You should be able to find them in the description. If you're not interested in my my information here. First of all, I will be talking about GP Copenhagen, which I'm attending to. It will be in May, so it's a few months away, but I will start preparing right now. And it's in Modern, my favorite format. Hopefully we will be doing well. So first of all, I will be talking about what type of deck I'm going to play, then narrow it down to the exact deck. Thirdly, I will be talking about the deck in more detail, and then we will be going over to some matches, and I will be posting matches and updates as often as I can. And my thought process here is that I will be writing down after each match my thoughts about it and what I liked and didn't like, and then at the end of the last match for each upload, I will be discussing potential changes, and then for the next series of videos I will be changing the deck and see if we can make it better. The one thing that I have to say before we start is that I don't have infinite money. I actually added every single card I had in my collection to the trade binder because I had sold off everything, like all the mythics and rares and everything, and it turned out that all my crap that I didn't even knew I had was worth almost 200 tickets, so that's why I have a deck. Alright, so step 1. What type of deck will I be playing? Well, as you probably can see here, I'm leaning towards something more aggressive this time. I still love Control decks, I still think it's so fun, but in Modern that's just not the place you want to be. You have decks that are too fast for you, you have decks that are too grindy for you, and you have a pretty good amount of decks that just flat out beats you, because even if you can stop them from comboing or something once or twice, or even 3 times, they will somehow get through anyway. And the metagame is too diverse, it's too many things that you have to handle. So when I'm going down to Denmark, I will be playing something more aggressive. So I was thinking, what do I want to play? Well, I was considering decks like Burn, but that's just not my thing at all. Zoo would be okay, but I just don't have the cards for them anymore, and yeah, I don't know, it's a bit too straightforward for me, so I wanted something more tricky. Then I was pretty set on playing Esper Gifts, because yes, it's not a faster deck, it's not an aggressive deck, but a turn 5 Iona or Elishnorn will win a lot of matches on their own, and I spent a great deal of time thinking about the deck, but when I sat down and built it, I'm not sure if I have it here, maybe I do. Hold on. Oh, that's something else. Anyway, it just didn't felt right. Is this the one? It could be. No, this is not the one. It just didn't work. I didn't like it. Here they are. This is the one. So this is what I was going to play. You have a lot of sweet cards like Liliana and Collective Brutality to help you discard Elishnorn and Iona. I don't think I have anything else, no. You have the gifts package for some removals. This figure is obviously Fatal Push, but they weren't automatic online when I built the deck. So you can gifts for like Path, Fatal Push, Collective Brutality, and like Supreme Verdict or a Snapcaster Mage or what have you. So it's kind of disruptive, but you just can't fit everything in that you want. You need obviously the gift package and stuff like that, but then you need disruption, and you need a good split of them, and you need snapcaster mages and hand disruption and counter spells. This should be disallow, obviously, kind of better version. Yeah, and then I was thinking about the sideboard, and Terastodon takes care of the Troll matchup if you can survive. Leviathan takes care of control matchups, and Sphinx takes care of the aggressive matchups. But anyway, I decided that this was just too incidental for me. Even if we can go like removal something, we will still lose if we don't have gifts or Unburial Rights, something good to begin with. And when it all come down to is, it's the same thing with every control deck that I build. We don't have enough win conditions. We can't fit them and still have the amount of control element that we need. So I gave it up and decided that I wanted to play something aggressive. So that's what I narrowed it down to, an aggressive deck. So how did I end up with this deck and nothing else? Well, this will be part 2 if you're wanting to check the timestamps. I wanted to play with Delver. I still didn't want to give up blue because I like Snapcaster Mage. So I was thinking I'm going to play Delver. So what kind of Delver? Well, I could play straight red-blue. It's a consistent, good deck, but I think it's not powerful enough. So I ruled that out. Then I asked a few friends and we discussed it, and Grixis Delver is probably the most powerful of them, at least game 1, and then it drops off post-board. And then we were into Temur Delver, or Rug Delver, whichever you want to call it. Which just happened to be the kind of deck that I played when I started Modern, when I was new at the game. So, some Tarmogoyfs Delvers looked quite good. I even made a list, but I didn't put it on Magic Online. But once again, what it came down to, it just doesn't have the punch. I don't think I'm gonna sleeve it up and try it, but I still don't know if that's the way you wanna go. And that left us with Jeskai Delver. So what Jeskai brings us is the best of every world, basically. So I was speaking with one of my friends about this, and I said, well, the best color in Modern is probably white, because white has Path to Exile, which is the best removal spell, and we have so many good sideboard cards, which doesn't show in my sideboard because I don't... Oh, well, I ran out of tickets, but we will talk about it anyway. And then it's probably red, because burn is good. It's cheap, efficient removal, and if you don't need it, you can go to the face. So you always have that backup plan. So red-white, I said, is probably what where I want to be. But there is a big thing here. you can't play Modern without some way to interact with non-creatures. That's just unless you're very, very fast, I guess, or doing something completely different. Or if you're playing like a red-white prison deck, that would work, but then you're not that interested in Path to Exiles and Lightning Bolts to begin with. So we needed to add one more color, and it's either blue or black. That's just how it is. And I have actually played Mardu a fair bit the last couple of months and enjoyed the deck, but then I got so extremely crushed in a Modern League that I just didn't want to play the deck anymore. It's good against the type of decks that doesn't really make up the Modern metagame, like other mid-range decks. It's pretty good against, and it can beat fast decks, and it can beat more controller decks, but a big portion of Modern is combo, and if you can't interact with them, well, then you're gonna lose. So I decided that I wanted to go with Jeskai, and I get the Delvers, and that's how I landed with Jeskai. So, for the third part here, the deck. So, it just so happens that a few days after I decided that I wanted to play Jeskai Delver, Channel Fireball posted a few matches with a list, and I looked into that, and a big portion of the deck is the same as that deck, but I've changed some things. First of all, I'm running Steplinks over Monastery Swift Spear. The reason is that we have a lot of things that we want to keep mana up for, and Swift Spear is a lot better when you're casting spells on your turn. We do have Serum Visions, and we can cast Bolt or Helix on our turn, but for the most part we want to sit on Remand or Spell Snare or Spell Pierce or something, and once we have landed our pressure. So I thought Steplinks would be better, even though we're not running that many lands. We have a bunch of fetches, and they really only need to hit like twice to have earned their keep. Another change that I made was I removed the Mutagenic Growth because I just don't like the card. Yes, it saves a Flip Delver from a Lightning Bolt. That's decent, I guess. It could help Geist push through, but it's just, it costs a lot of life and it's kinda narrow, so I added a Spell Snare instead, giving me a bit more disruption, and Spell Snare is just very good in Modern. And then I think it was a main board Negate, and I changed it to a Spell Pierce. I guess it's preference, and I guess it's about how the metagame is looking, so these are kind of the flex slots. Then I added a Grim Lavamancer for something. I don't recall even what I shaved for that. Well, that's something, and the Channel Fireball list only had 3 Swift Spears. I'm running 4 Steplinks, which is okay. Yeah, it was 2 Sleight of Hand. I really don't like Sleight of Hand. So that's the changes that I made to that particular list. And I have a few notes already. Vapor Snag is probably coming in, and probably 1 Steplinks is going out. And the reason is that Delver flips it just doesn't flip very often, so I need to up my spell count. So probably gonna shave a Steplinks, but for the sake of it I'm going to try it out a bit more. I've only played like 7 matches with these 75, so that's how it is. That's it for the main board, I think. We're gonna see a lot of changes. I also have Blessed Alliance on my sticky note here. It's kind of weird to have a destroy target attacking creature card in an aggressive deck, but the truth is we will be attacked a lot of the time, and gaining a few life is pretty good too. But I was thinking this could be maybe in the sideboard as a one-off, pretty good with Snapcaster Mage. So the sideboard here, I'm not gonna talk about it that much because it lacks so much, but Wear Tear is good, and that's something I will be playing. I have a few Molten Rains. I want to play with Blood Moon and see if that's better. I kinda think it is. You could lose after a Molten Rain, but you probably won't lose after a Blood Moon, but we will have to look into that. A Negate, a Dispel, a Twisted Image, and a Spell Pierce, just some random good disruptive elements. And then we have this pile, which is just crap. It should be like Stony Silence, Rest in Peace, and a few more removal spells is something that I want to play with. Anyway, Circle of Protection red against Burn, because that's just a popular deck. Could be like Core Firewalkers, I guess. Griff's Boon. I mean, I don't know if it will if I will ever want it or need it, but putting it on a Geist is pretty good. That's my thought process, but really I didn't have more cards. Celestial Purge, pretty good. Reroute is actually kind of a a tech against Tron specifically. That's my main reason. When they slam a Karn and minus it, and you reroute it to one of their Tron pieces, and you get to draw a card, and then you can tap up and kill them with whatever creature they try to kill you with, or kill. It could work. I mean, could work. And then a Wispmare for like getting out of an enchantment lock or something, just to spread it out a bit. Blood Moon, Stony Silence, Rest in Peace is something that I'm looking to play instead. Maybe we want something like a Timely Reinforcements. I don't know. We will have to check that out, but I'm not that interested in the sideboard right now. I'd rather focus on the main board to begin with, and then kind of build the sideboard judging on what I've played against. So yeah, that was kind of it. Let's jump over to the first match and see how that turns out. Alright, time for the first match. Yeah, I guess we keep this hand. Gonna go grab Hallowed Fountain, play Delver, or play Lavamancer if we think that's something we want to do. And then we have Lightning Helix and Geist if we draw land. It seems alright. It's very hard to mulligan any hand with turn 1 Delver. I wonder what we're up against. Mulligan to 5. With a keep. What could that be? Seachrome Coast. So I'm just gonna Seachrome Coast. The thing, it could be so many things here. It could be actually, I'm gonna play Grim Lavamaster first, and there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I get to use my mana more efficiently here. If they play a creature, I can bolt and play Delver, or use Lavamancer, but then I probably can't play Delver, but that's how it is. But if I'm gonna guess, I think this is the equipment deck. It could be, and if that's the case, I want to have as much removal up as I can, because otherwise they will just kill me instead. I don't think the deck is very good. I just have to say, but it's a very shaky combo deck, basically. Without that, I mean, they have like Swan Song and stuff to protect them with, and that's okay, but if you're not doing anything on turn 1, and then you probably can't cast your creature on turn 2 because you want to protect it, then we're talking about a turn 3 thing. Fairy Conclave, interesting. I'm most likely gonna bolt my opponent end of turn, I think. Then I can't keep Helix up. I'm gonna path. No? Maybe. This is interesting. They were gonna cast something, but they obviously drew Fairy Conclave this turn. Let's see what we hit. Could be some kind of, I mean, it could be a fairy deck, I guess. It could be a control deck as well. Sure. Gonna grab, I guess, Island. I get to look before I draw it. That's always fun. No, I don't want to do that. Path to Exile. I think I'm just gonna go Serum Visions, keep Lavamancer up. since I drew the bolt, I will actually attack. Then next turn I can go Snapcaster, keep Grim Lavamancer, or Geist, keep Lavamancer or Bolt up, and then just burn them to death. Do I want both lands? I don't think so. I'm gonna keep the Flooded Strand. So they had a path but didn't want to kill Lavamancer. And then they thought about killing my Delver on their turn, but they chose to go for a slightly more payoff play, a bigger payoff play, but a riskier play, which is fine. No, I think you just take this. Do you have another path? No. Okay. I guess I could just bolt, Snapcaster bolt end of turn. That might be even better. Probably is, actually. Anyway, I'm going to attack. It feels like if my opponent has removal, they kind of have to use it, and if they have counter spells up, I'd rather just pass to punish them some more. Sure. So 9, 11, 13, 15 points of burn over the course of a few turns. Top. That's interesting. Let's go with the lightning bolt. I guess technically I shouldn't fetch first. I should actually play Snapcaster first. Now we're gonna kill it? Sure. I guess we get another white. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oof. I was. I thought this was my fetch. That would have been kinda sad. Let's play Snapcaster Mage. This looks more like a control deck, but it could be anything. I mean, Path to Exile is an efficient removal spell in any deck, and Serum Visions doesn't give anything away. Fairy Conclave plus Seachrome Coast is a bit weird, I guess. Nice. Yeah, it is pretty nice. Indeed. So now we can play Geist and keep Helix up. That's pretty good. And Steplings. I'm probably not gonna play that. Actually, I can just win here. That's probably better. Burn! So going into game 2, I don't really know much of my opponent's plans. Molten Rain seems okay. Negate could be okay. Dispel, Spell Pierce. Do I want to bring anything out? I don't know. I could bring out Cryptics to bring in more efficient spells. That seems pretty weird. Path and Serum Visions. I will assume that it is a control deck. I think that's safe to assume. So I could shave like 2 paths and 2 cryptics to bring in a Dispel and 3 Molten Rains. I'm gonna gamble on that. Usually I don't, but since we're just trying it out here, let's see what we can do. This could be wrong. This could be a creature heavy deck. Who knows? And it could be a fast deck, and it could be we don't know. But judging on Serum Visions, Path to Exile, and tapped lands, and I mean Seachrome Coast is kind of awkward. I don't love this hand, but I'm going to keep it. Basic Island. Serum Visions. I mean, it could also be a combo deck. We really don't know. But it's weird for a combo deck to play 2 Path to Exiles, I think. And Fairy Conclave, I guess. I think we can rule combo out. Unless it's like Jeskai Ascendancy. That could justify Fairy Conclave. So what do we want to draw? Delver? But I probably wouldn't play Delver. I would still play Serum Visions, I think. And I didn't play the Geist last game because it's good to keep that information hidden. So, alright. My turn. Not a Geist. Not super relevant. So I could play Steplinks next turn, but I don't think I want Steplinks. I think I want Molten Rain though. So next turn we can keep Remand up, and then we can untap and play Molten Rain, or we can play a Geist. Kinda depends on what my opponent is doing. It could be Enduring Ideal. It's not impossible. It would be nice if they fetched and played Silence here, since I didn't plan on playing anything. So this will fetch. It doesn't need to be blue-white anymore, so I guess it could be red-white. Since we removed the Cryptics, we don't need triple blue that badly. Nothing and no fetch. Nothing again. Interesting, interesting. I guess even Mind Sensor would be pretty bad. So I'm not gonna play Molten Rain here, obviously, that seems bad. I'm gonna jam a Geist of Sintraft, since we have 2. Try the Warders. If this gets mana leak, that's fine. Then maybe next time we can play Geist plus Dispel or something. If this resolves, we're in pretty good shape. Alright. So mana leak takes care of that. I would like to draw a Lightning Bolt, perhaps. Or Delver would work too. Something to make me able to cast more than one spell a turn. Double Snapcaster with like no targets. Serum Visions. Yeah, that works, I guess. I'm gonna play this. I just don't want to jam Geist or Molten Rain into nothing. Alright. Pass. I guess we should remove F6. Now we can Helix them if they don't do anything. We can Remand if they do anything. And then we can play Geist with Dispel backup, which is pretty good. Ghost Quarter. Yeah, this seems more and more like a pure control deck. I guess Snapcaster mana leak would be kinda unfortunate, okay? Or do I want to go for Snapcaster here? I actually think I'm gonna pass again. I could go for Molten Rain here, but that seems weak since they have Ghost Quarter up. I could probably force Geist through, which is good, but I'd rather do something in their end step. Relic of Progenitus, well that kind of forces the issue. I want to get another white source. Red, white, no, red, blue. See if this resolves. If they like cryptic this, I will remand my own Snapcaster Mage. Okay, it works. Take Lightning Helix. And now I can let this resolve. Since I can respond to this if I want to. You're dispelling that. Interesting, interesting. I still don't like that my opponent has Ghost Quarter up. Sure. I could force the Relic crack here, I guess. I think I'm actually gonna pass again. Molten still seems fine, but not against double Ghost Quarter. I still get to destroy a land, I suppose, but no damage. Nothing at all. Angel? It is indeed an angel. Do I path that or do I remand it? I think I actually path that. I could let him untap. Yeah, that seems fine. It will be hard for him to fight through everything here. Alright, just let it happen. Since if he counters it, I can remand my own path, and if he has another counter, well, then I can dispel that and end up with path plus a card in hand. Okay. That's a target for Molten Rain, I guess. Two cards in hand. Plus one in play, I guess. So I have a lot of options here. I'm gonna attack first and see if we have another angel coming. We do, okay. Or a removal spell. Path to Exile. Yep, that resolves. Grab Mountain. Play land. Play Geist of Saint-Traft. I think if they had Angel they would have played it. Now they have one card in hand. And if it's like a cryptic I will remand my Geist. It is in fact cryptic. I could dispel it. No, I actually think it's better to do this. Since we know it will work. Using our mana. And I win my... Okay. Yeah, I mean... Whatever they would draw, I would get to replay Geist with the spell backup. And then... I could Molten Rain the Watch. I could actually attack into it, it doesn't really matter. Draw Bolt and Delver. Yeah. That worked out pretty well. I'll see you shortly for another match.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. If you enjoyed this content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/magicgatheringstrat.